Nkandla, made to order. One palace fit for an emperor in a sea of abject poverty, mostly paid for using our tax rand. Now, let's go back to the very start. It's 2009 and the Ministry of State Security does a review on the safety of President Jacob Zuma. It finds his Nkandla homestead needs a security upgrade amounting to roughly 28 million rand. By June 2010, the price tag has increased almost threefold and funds are redirected from other projects meant to benefit all of South Africa. November 2010, Jacob Zuma reshuffles cabinet, kicking out Jeff Dodge as the Public Works Minister. His successor, Nkandla, writes to Zuma saying the Nkandla project is on track. The December deadline comes. Phase 1 is not yet done, but Phase 2 goes into the planning stages anyway. Another deadline whooshes by because contractor Bonelana is in the dwang. By April 2012, Bonelana has been fired, it winds up in liquidation, and Phase 2 of the compound is, as you guessed, still not done. By the last quarter of 2012, the price tag is fit for a Gupta wedding. From an estimated 28 million rand in 2009, the taxpayer is now in for 203 million rand and some change. Let's take a moment to consider what that could buy. Instead, it's bought us some swish thatch rondavels, an underground parking lot, a pool, and arguably the world's most expensive chicken coop. Oh, and our tax money hasn't actually bought us anything because when Jacob Zuma leaves office, he gets to take it all with him. Thanks, South Africa, he says to himself. Back to the story though. October 2012 and the public protector Thuli Madonsela gets called in to investigate. Less than a month later, the president tells Parliament that the upgrade is all about the National Key Points Act. Yep, the same act that governs Waterkloof Air Force Base that is the preferred landing spot for well-connected wedding parties. Anyway, by now we're on to Public Works Minister number 3. I hope you're keeping up. And Thulas Nxesi publicly promises an investigation. By this stage, the DA has smelled blood, and where there's blood, there's political opportunity. Cue Helen Zille and an impromptu visit to South Africa's favourite rural getaway. As Zille is storming the gates, Zuma is dropping a bomb in Parliament. So it wasn't our money after all. Confused? Well, you're not the only one. Nxesi, in the meantime, it makes good on his promise to investigate. It takes a full 6 months before the report is done. Then it's promptly declared top secret. Can't see it. It's November 2013, and if you can believe that things are going to get even weirder, Thuli Madonsela's investigation is progressing, but as she's putting the final touches to her final draft, government decides to take her to court to stop the release of that report. 2 weeks later, government changes its mind and agrees to pay Madonsela's legal costs. Now, it's November the 20th, 2013. The security cluster tries to strong-arm the media, saying it can't publish pictures of the compound. The next morning, this is what happens. Government then has to backtrack for the second time in a month, saying everyone misunderstood what was meant by the word publish, and saying publish the pictures. We didn't mean you can't publish the pictures. What we meant was you shouldn't publish the pictures, or whatever it was they meant. As the year drew to a close, Madonsela's provisional report was leaked to the media, and it did not look good for the president. The security cluster counters, releasing its report. The ANC and Madonsela are now in open warfare. Accusations fly. And that's where we leave the story. But before we look ahead to what happens next, let's review. What did 203 million rand of our money actually buy? Well, here are some of the highlights. Tarred roads. Well, one can hardly ask the First Ladies to wear flats, could one? A clinic, a cattle culvert to stop the bovines bashing the security fence, a swimming pool. The release of Thuli Madonsela's report is likely to be, was the price tag justified? Who really footed the bill? And perhaps most importantly, did Jacob Zuma lie to Parliament and the nation that he is mandated to lead?